my channel. My name is Krista Yoder, founder and CEO of Smart VAs, a virtual assistant agency. I host a podcast show titled Delegate Your Way to Success, and every week we upload video clips of my podcast interview with amazing entrepreneurs that have authentic and real-life stories of failing and getting back up. In these videos, you will also learn how these amazing entrepreneurs built their businesses successfully while living a freedom-filled lifestyle. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and don't forget to click the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Alright, so let's get started. Jessica Shipton, founder of Jess Solution Marketing, joins us in this episode to share her journey and story on how she started her own company at the age of 21. Jess Solution Marketing is a company that helps small to medium business owners grow their online presence through search engine marketing, social media marketing, and one-on-one training and consultations. Being interested in business and seeing others achieve their goals, Jess was able to grow her own business. She is a digital and social media marketer and a coach with a passion to help people succeed in reaching their full potential. She believes that the ability to assess the value of our work is what helps attract more potential clients, as it shows our level of expertise. In this episode, you will understand more about the app tracking transparency, ATT for short, a new feature of iOS 14.5 that requires users to give permission for apps to collect and share data to be used in the digital world of marketing and brands. So I want to dive in and talk about iOS 14.5. So what is the impact of that to Facebook ads?
Yes, oh my gosh. Okay, there's so many things I could say here. So I'm not going to go too crazy deep into it because I just want to kind of, scratch the surface. And then if you're interested, jump into my DMs and we can have a chat about it forever. But okay, so essentially what has happened is Apple has released iOS 14. This includes their app tracking transparency prompt, which is ATT for short. Basically, it's this policy where it's asking app developers and a bunch of people, essentially app developers from the App Store, to pretty much prompt users whenever they open up their iPhone iOS 14.5 device or above, whether or not they want to opt in or opt out of tracking. And what this is going to happen is there's a lot of different pathways that this could happen. So I want to kind of, if you're listening to this, picture this. So you've got the opt-in and the opt-out button. If somebody clicks on the opt-in button as a user, you're still going to see everything like normal. You're still going to be tracked. Your activity online is going to be tracked and all of that. You'll still see relevant and targeted ads. For advertisers, that's not going to change anything either, which is great because it means that we can still target relevant ads to relevant people at the right time. We're not going to annoy. I know ads can be annoying, but it's going to be less annoying because it's more targeted at the person's interests, at their behaviors online, all of that kind of stuff. We can still track those different points and then see the effects of marketing and what channels are actually producing the better results for businesses and clients and things. However, so that's the best case scenario. However, we know that a lot of people are going to opt out of tracking just purely because of privacy and people don't like the idea of being tracked. It sounds a bit threatening. So we understand that that is going to be pretty natural for people to opt out. What happens for the user if they opt out of being tracked online by apps? And this isn't just a Facebook and Google thing. This is any app on the App Store. So this is, think YouTube, Pinterest, whatever app you're using, this is going to appear for them. And essentially, if you opt out of tracking as a user, you will be still seeing ads. So there's no escape from ads. You'll still be seeing them. They're just not going to be targeted or relevant to you because obviously the back end isn't tracking what you're doing. So we can't actually understand your interests or behaviors and stuff. So you'll still see ads for random stuff happening all over the place, but that's about it. For advertisers, though, this is where it gets really, really difficult because it's kind of thrown a bit of a curveball. Previously, we've been able to track all the different points of when somebody goes onto the app, they scrolling on Instagram, they see a, ad for a website, they click on it, they go to the website, and then they're looking at all the different products, all the different shoes and the hats and the clothes and all of that kind of stuff. They're viewing all this content. As an advertiser on the back end, we can see not who it is specifically. We can't see that Jessica Shipton has, but there's what's called an IDFA, and I can't quite remember what that is. It's an identification something. Anyway, for advertisers, identification something for advertisers, but it's pretty much a number. So think of it as like this long number that's yours, and essentially that's because you've logged in as a browser, as a person, as a user. And what happens is that's how we can retarget you, because it's gone and allocated you a specific ID number to your account. And so when you've gone and clicked on the ad, gone to this website, and you're doing all of this stuff, we can see on the back end that, this person or somebody online has gone and viewed 5 different products, and it's these products, and then they've gone and added it to cart, they've initiated the checkout, and then they've added payment info, and then they've gone and made a purchase. We can't see that info, obviously the back end of Shopify and all of that can see that, but it's actually going through, and we're able to track that this person's done this, and then convert it. Now, though, what is the issue is that whole IDFA thing is no longer a thing through Apple's tracking transparency prompt. By opting out, we can no longer have that identification, which means that we're able to actually pass through, because Facebook has now, this is going to get a bit confusing potentially here, but I'm going to try my best to explain it in a way that makes sense. So Facebook has pretty much said, well, this is not going to work, because our businesses online, small businesses as well, need this information in order to actually target people and make money and survive. And of course, Facebook needs that, people advertising, in order to make money as well, because it's a free platform for everybody else, unless you're advertising, right? So Facebook's gone and created a new protocol, and it's basically called aggregated event measurement. It's this private click measurement thing. So instead of knowing, I suppose, who this person is without that IDFA, we're still able to actually find out what that last thing that they did was. So we don't know that they've gone and viewed content, viewed another piece of content, viewed another product, then added it to cart, initiated checkout. We only know what this last thing is. And so that's still semi-helpful, but it's going to be modeled. So what that means is that Facebook's pretty much going to do machine learning and try and work out statistically and model this kind of data. So for an advertiser, in terms of looking into Ads Manager and all the data, it's looking very skewed at the moment, which makes it really hard for us as marketers to then make an insightful decision and tell our clients, okay, we need to spend more money here, we need to scale more money here. And at the moment, it's frankly a bit of a mess. So we're having to kind of go through all of that and understand, okay, well, how do we actually track where are these people coming from instead? How do we know what's the best source of marketing so that we can still run our business and not waste money on ads and things, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's so many different things that play a part of it. And so this aggregated event measurement essentially is this protocol that Facebook has provided us as a solution or a way around doing this whole tracking thing. And as a marketer, we've had to go in and actually select up to 8 events, which are things like add to carts or purchases or initiate checkouts, things like that. We've had to select up to 8 events for each client of ours or for your own business if you're DIYing your own ads, and then pretty much prioritize them. So if you've got purchases as your top priority, that's my goal in my business, then below that, you'd probably have add payment info, then initiate checkout, then add to cart, view content, all of that, right? So it's kind of going backwards. That's your priority. If you're a service-based business, you'd probably have a contact form or a lead form as the top one, maybe some lead magnets there, whatever that might look like. If you've got online payments and stuff, maybe a purchase would be the first thing. So we have to prioritize those order of events. And pretty much what happens then with aggregated event measurement is that if someone then is on, they've opted out of tracking, they go and they click on the ad, they go to the website, they do all of those different things, whatever that highest priority event that they do that you've set in those up to 8 order, that's what gets passed through to Facebook and Ads Manager. So that's how we would see it. So instead of seeing all the bits of the puzzle, we're then going to only see the highest priority event. So it's still helpful and it is a way around, but it's only part of the puzzle. So there's a lot of different things here that are missing, which makes it really difficult. In terms of Google, Google hasn't really explained too much about what they're doing. Facebook's been a lot more open about the different changes, I suppose. Google, unfortunately, hasn't released as much information as of yet in terms of what they're doing. And to be honest with you, a lot of marketing platforms, they know that there's all these things coming at them. They know that people are more interested in privacy now. They know people care about that. They understand that by the start of next year, we're probably not going to have any cookies on browsers anymore, meaning that, ads blockers, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things changing in the marketing world, and platforms are trying to stay up to date with it. But when Apple released this and kind of mentioned this was happening and stuff, it did put a huge spanner in the works. And it's funny because I actually read an article last night that Apple has now released their own advertising platform on apps, which I find very interesting because I think that has definitely got a part to play. They've made it really difficult for app advertisers to then go and advertise on all these different platforms like Facebook, for example. But now they're going and creating a separate little section within the App Store for people to advertise. And
they have a hidden agenda for doing that.
Don't they what? So it's super interesting. I don't know whether that's released yet or whether that's coming, but it's super fun. So
I need to look it up.
I know. Maybe this time in a couple of months, I'll be advertising on the Apple Store as well.
Yeah, me too.
That might be another service.
Are you sick and tired of being overwhelmed and afraid you'll never scale your business? Meet Smart VAs. Unlike many virtual assistant agencies that only assign one dedicated virtual assistant, we provide flexibility for growing businesses by assigning a team of experienced virtual assistants that can do different tasks to support your continuous growth. Visit smartvas.online to book a free discovery call and start growing your business.
Right.
Who knows? But
so what should we do?
Much.
What should we do in order to adapt to that change?
For sure. So there's a lot of hype, as you can tell, as you've heard, a lot of people, even if they're not marketing, have heard about all of this through it. And I want to kind of give two parts of the story. I want to say how you'd respond if you're a user and or a small business owner, and how you would respond if you are the ads manager in this case, which I'm not sure if there's any VAs or freelancers that will be listening to this doing that. But if you are a small business owner, I just want to say people are still going to be buying your products, right? Reporting through Ads Manager is going to look a lot different. There's not going to be a lot with the whole attribution thing. So attribution is the way that your conversions are credited to different platforms. So Facebook has previously taken a lot of the credit for that. Before mid-January this year, Facebook took credit for people who looked at by default, so didn't even click on, who viewed or clicked on an ad, and within 28 days, they made a conversion on the website, right? They would then give credit to Facebook because Facebook's like, well, within the last month or 4 weeks, this person's looked at my ad or they've done this. So I think we've played a part. So Facebook has taken a lot of the credit for a lot of these different conversions that have happened. So as small business owners, just try to keep looking at your back end of your, what are you actually spending at the end of the day, and what are you actually returning? Keep looking at that, because if that's going down, then talk to the person who's doing your ads. If that's you, then this next part will apply to you as well. But, definitely don't just rely on Ads Manager now. I think, Ads Manager hasn't been 100% reliable at the best of times, and now it's just getting worse and worse and harder to understand the insights. So with Google Analytics and UTM parameters, they're two things that you will want to start to get used to and familiar with, because as attribution is becoming less and less reliable and more confusing, you're wanting to really understand, okay, well, where are my marketing efforts coming from? UTM parameters are a great way. They're just like a bit of a blah thing at the back of a link, and it allows you to track different things. And by doing that, you're able to find out, okay, well, even though this website is my homepage, I'm actually driving traffic there from my email signature, from my Instagram bio, from my YouTube bio, from my Facebook ads, from my Instagram ads, all this kind of stuff. You're driving traffic to the same place, right? From all these different places. And with UTM parameters, you'd be able to actually sort out on Google Analytics where these people are coming from, instead of just seeing that they're coming to your homepage and you've had 100 visitors to your homepage. You're able to break it down based on where they've clicked on that link. So that's super helpful as well. So definitely get well versed in that. Start understanding how to use those different things. If you're a business owner, DIYing your ads and stuff, check your cost per result, your ROAS, all of this kind of stuff, your return on ad spend. But as I said before, you're still going to be getting sales. Facebook ads aren't just going to stop working. Google ads are going to continue working as well. All these things are still going to work to scale your business and still to reach new people.
Yeah.
The biggest thing here is that audience sizes are going to be smaller. So people who are opting out of tracking, obviously we're not going to be able to target in our ads. So our audience sizes are shrinking, and that's not just prospecting like campaigns, your top of funnel type stuff with cold audiences. That's your warm audiences too, unfortunately. So warm audiences are naturally smaller because they're going to be smaller because they're warm, they're hot audiences, and they've had a touch point with you. But if these people have opted out, they're no longer going to be in that either. So, there's just different things here. And my biggest takeaway, if you are worried about all of this, you're not sure how to prepare, my biggest thing would be to, if you're doing ads, definitely go in and verify your domain, set up your priority order for those 8 events for aggregated event measurement. That's your priority. And then start thinking about what are some other ways that I can actually, nurture people. If you need to nurture people like through a sales funnel before they actually go and make a purchase or convert with you, how can you do that off Facebook? Because your retargeting window, all this kind of stuff is now going to get a lot shorter with that funnel. So how can you, build up your email list? How can you start doing messenger chatbot stuff so that you can start keeping people either on the platform, or you can take them off there and have them in your owned space that you own as yourself with their own data and things, and that you're nurturing them in a personal way. So how can you start doing that kind of lead generation stuff? Because that's really important now. It always has been, but I think email marketing and all of that is going to go through the roof. I actually really want to get more into messenger chatbots because I think that's something that's not going to be as annoying for people. Perhaps I think email marketing is one of those things that people love it, but then they subscribe to everything and then they hate it very quickly. So it's one of those things where people are already getting bombarded with emails. What are some other ways that we can keep this engaging? What are some ways that we can really nurture people down the sales funnel if you need a longer period of time? That would kind of be my biggest thing. I think we need to start reworking and realizing that paid ads are not the strategy. They are not the strategy. They are part of the strategy. So it's just going to affect one part of it, or your organic strategy. Keep creating great content, keep being consistent and showing up on Instagram, keep doing this. You're still going to generate leads this way and stuff like that. So but also don't just get scared about using ads and not use ads at all. But maybe this is the part where we need to take a step back and go, okay, how's all my organic stuff? Because if I'm solely relying on paid ads, maybe I need to work on that a bit better first.
Yeah. Wow. And I'm pretty sure Google and Facebook are both going to do something about this change because they're big companies. They're just not going to let this, they're just not going to let this, this thing take them down. They're gonna do something about it. Well, I guess we are running over time. So is there any resources that you want to share with my audience, with the listeners, or any promotions that you have?
Yeah, for sure. So if you are interested in any kind of DIYing your Facebook ads or doing any one-on-one coaching with me or anything like that, just jump into my DMs on Instagram and we can have a chat about all of this. I've got a lot of free content that I provide on Instagram, particularly around iOS stuff as well. Lately, I've been trying to regurgitate it all in a way that makes sense. So if you're more interested in all of the effects and impacts of this, then check out that. It's just instagram.com, obviously, /JES solution marketing. So that's my handle on there. And yeah, we can have a chat more about it. I've got a DIY Facebook ads course called Stop Boosting, Start Converting, which I'm in the middle of updating and refreshing with all of this fun stuff as well. Yeah. So yeah, I've got a lot of resources about that. So if you are interested, just send me a DM and we can chat more about it. And if you need help with it at all, I'm always happy to help too.
Awesome. Well, follow Jessica on Instagram. You're going to love her content. Thanks, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you like this interview and you want to listen to the full episode, please type in Delegate Your Way to Success on Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast channels, or simply click the link in the description box below. I am also looking for more successful entrepreneurs to interview, so if you are interested to be on the podcast, please click the application form in the description box below and we'll go from there. Again, please subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bye!